no, those days people will be saying IT is for women. They were not taking me. All right. One, I didn't have a car. It was toxic. In 2 days, I saw how they treat people, and I was like, no, they will kick me out. So to avoid being kicked out, I'll kick myself out. Whereas if we look at the degree curriculum, I have nothing against it, but certifications are always taken to be more important.
Did you say you have 30 certifications? Is it 30 or you're not sure?
Plus, I don't remember. If people want to be ignorant and not learn and embrace it, you are going to be left on the side. All right.
Do you offer mentorship?
I do have a few people that I mentor. Or they listen, they don't listen. That's entirely not up to me. That's up to them.
The only reason you've been able to stay in Durban for this long is because from 2015-ish, you've only been working for international companies. Hi guys, welcome to the village. Finally, we have IT networking video today. Okay, Kenneth is our guest. He is a lead technical network and security engineer with over 17 years of industry experience. He's got about 30 plus certifications and recently graduated from Mentorship with a BCom in IT Management. Let's welcome Kenneth to the village. Kenneth, how are you? Welcome to the village.
I'm blessed. How are you? Thank you.
Good, good. Kenneth, thank you so much for making time to have this chat with us. I am so curious. Your journey is so long, but we're going to try and make it chop. How did you get started in this industry?
So looking at it is, I always just like playing with the computers and stuff. And so basically to say how I started is, first, there are certain things I want to mention is that I started off this because I found someone whom I could look up to and he became my mentor. Because during the time when I was studying, doing my metric and stuff, we didn't have those kind of information. So this guy I looked up to him because we grew up in the same area. He went all the way, and then after finishing school, he went to the industry, started working, but that's not what he wanted. He left and he went back to school. So then he got into the IT industry. So I looked up to him like, okay, he did something that is good. So then I spoke to him and I spoke to my uncles. So traditionally, people will always tell you, no, those days people will be saying IT is for women. Like they thought IT was just typing, right? So that's what they say. No, IT is just typing. You can't be doing that. It's not going to do anything. You need to do electricity and stuff. So I said, okay, cool. It's my uncle was telling me that. So I said, okay, it's fine. I will do what you're saying. So I did electrical engineering. I passed it. But at the same time I was going for my electrical engineering, I was also attending evening classes for IT. All right. So in the afternoon, I do that and IT. So I was going hand in hand with them. I'm like, okay, fine. I just want to know how to use your Excel, your Word and stuff. Cool, not perfect, no problem. Everything worked out fine. But I was not happy with electrical engineering. Did I get to use it in the field? Yes, I did. All right. Specifically from the year 2006 to 2008, because I couldn't find a job, all right? And because I had a diploma, I managed to get a diploma and a few other certificates, like your equivalent to A+, so it was not relevant, actually. So I couldn't get a job, so I started working in electrical engineering. But was I happy? No, I was not, all right? Then I found a college to go to. So I went to BC training. People started talking about MCSE because it was the thing by that time, A+, N+. So I said, oh, okay, if this is what people are talking about, let me speak to my mentor. I spoke to him and he says, no, you need to do those things because that's what's being recognized. I said, okay, cool, no problem. Then I enrolled. As I enrolled, they were happy with my grades and they wanted a lecture. And I said, okay, what can I do? Because I can't get into the industry. They didn't recognize all the diplomas and stuff. So I said, okay, let me go because they agreed to pay for me for my studies. So I went, enrolled. Then when I became a lecturer, fine, they paid for my studies. As they paid for my studies, I started doing them. I did A+, I did N+, I did MCSE. All of them were international exams. Then I did MCDST, then there was called MCITP. So I did all of them. Right. So I'm like, okay, cool. I've done this. Then I did Cisco. All right. So I was doing everything by that time because he told me, no, I want you to do everything. I want you to know everything. And after you know everything, then you can specialize on what you truly, truly want. So I said, okay, I will do that. I will trust the process. So after doing all that, now a piece of training, I was, yes, a lecturer, but at the same time, I was a technician, right, fixing the computers and stuff. But now, as I was applying for jobs in the industry, I couldn't get. They were not taking me. Right. One, I didn't have a car. Two, they didn't like the fact that I was a lecturer because they thought, nah, this person is just theory, nothing more. Okay. Then I spoke to my mentor as well. I'm like, dude, this is what's happening. How can I resolve this? Then he says, no, give it to your recruitment agents to have a look. So I spoke to, what was the name, Debbie or something. I don't remember. That's 2011. So I gave them. Then they said, no, remove the word technician, the word lecture. So I removed it. They cleaned it. In less than a week, I got 4 interviews. All right. Okay. Now I took one and I was working at the company. So this is now beginning of 2012. So yeah, I got the job. I'm happy. In 2 days, the environment of that place, it shook me to the core because it was toxic. In 2 days, I saw how they treated people and I was like, no, I did not sign up for this. I'm out. All right. On the 3rd day, I was looking for a job. On the 3rd day, I was looking for a job. All right. And a week didn't pass. Again, I got offers. Then I would take the offer. Then I would speak to them. Then I worked at that company for 3 weeks. And I didn't even put it in my CV because it was a toxic place. So I left. Okay. Then I became now a computer technician working in desktop. So I'm learning everything now. I'm now in the field. We are traveling to clients. We're doing all that, working with switches. So I'm learning everything, servers, fixing computers, doing your first line help desk. So I was doing everything.
Okay. So now you have like the offers are rolling, like they're coming in now because you are a technician. Okay, no, I get you. What is a network and security engineer?
So if we are to look at that, right, initially what a network engineer does is you are designing and deploying your LAN, which is your local area network, your WAN, which is your wide area network, and your VPN. All right. If we were to look at the VPN part, we look at it from what happened during the COVID, right? If you look at COVID, everyone was working from home, connecting whether it's APN or VPN or stuff. Network engineers were behind that, all right, because we configured systems so that you guys anyone who was working from home can be able to connect and use the infrastructure. So that is part of actually all networking, right, including security, because so many companies, specifically small companies, they don't really differentiate between your network and security, right? Who does your routing, your switching, your Wi-Fi, who does your firewalls, who does your phones, right? A network and security engineer does all that, so it's encompassed into one. The only time it becomes different is when you now start working into bigger companies. So big companies, they like to split the two. Right. So you would find that the network guys, they're only responsible to your WAN, to your LAN, not really the VPN, but your wireless and your phone. That's all they do. They don't want anything else. So bit to it, you get a new site. How do you design? Do people connect with Wi-Fi? Do people connect with cable? What cables to use? Which service provider to use? Which equipment to use? How much data is needed? Then you incorporate the security part now where you need to follow your best practice guide, all right? What is best practice for the industry? The security part now comes in. And if you're working with the security team, they tell you, okay, this is the baseline that we want to have. This is the guidelines that we have. We need to protect this. It's on a cable. How many people can connect on a cable? on a wireless, which wireless are you using? Because I know many people when they get to office, they now be able to connect with their phones. We call that BYOD, right? You bring your own device. You actually technically on a separate network. That has nothing to do with everyone. So anyone who's doing networks, that's their core responsibility, especially with security. Then includes your firewall, where we configure what sites you access, what's allowed, what's not allowed, those kind of things. Those are the things that we work with on a day-to-day basis. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, no, I see. You have a lot of certifications. You have a lot. I just want to know, because right now you are a technical lead, right? Which one do you think helped you to get there?
Let me see. Which one? So I would say specifically it was my CCIE written, all right, because I did CCIE. And then you have also CISSP, right? There's one called CISSP, so I did all that. Plus, I have a BCom in IT Management, so all of them they encompass to that. So mostly Cisco. Then I have a bunch of them like FortiGate, Palo Alto, Checkpoint. So if I'm to be honest, to look at how many certifications I have, probably more than 30. I've lost count. Then still continuing, but yeah.
Yo, Kenneth, you've been in the industry for so long. It's been 17 years already. I don't think I've interviewed someone with this much experience. Most people I talk to, they have 5 years, at the most 8 years. So there is a lot that has changed in the industry for sure. Like a lot has evolved. Can you share with us like how things, like how different it is from when you got started?
So the biggest thing that I can say that has changed the biggest in the industry is information. All right. Prior to before and now is it was hard to get information. You didn't have the likes of your Udemy. You didn't have your LinkedIn learning. You didn't have your YouTube, right, to study all these things. And studying it was expensive. So if I to go back to say, for example, the time we were learning Cisco, right? So if you had to look at CCNP back then, it had 2 exams, right? And for each course that you had to do, it was close to 10 to 15,000 per week. All right, that's one. Then you look at, and then for practicing, you needed equipment, physical equipment to practice. So you couldn't just start doing anything. You had to go and buy the physical equipment, which was money. All right. But if we look at now, you have everything virtual. You can download anything. You can virtualize your PC. So information is actually out there. So people, you can choose what you want, and for the learning part is it's easy now. We have now more information for you. It's more like your guidance and counseling. From my side, people in my era, right? We didn't have guidance and counseling, as I said. My uncle told me IT is for women. That was there. But right now, people know what IT is about. People know if we talk about now we are in the AI era. People know what that is. People are being taught about it in schools. As much as not schools, they're not as fast as certifications because certifications are changing. They get updated yearly. They get updated every 2 years or less than 3 years, right? You have to constantly renew yourself. Whereas if we look at the degree curriculum, I have nothing against it, but if you are to bring someone to an interview who just has a degree and they have no certifications, you'd find out they don't have the real knowledge, because sometimes what we do when we give people interviews is we give them a scenario. Okay, there's a scenario. Can you please fix that problem? Right? So from a degree, you were not told how to fix that. I did a degree as well. I was not told how to fix that. But from a certification point, I knew exactly, okay, this is the problem, because even in the exam, you get to fix the problem. So that's why I say mostly in the private sector, certifications are always taken to be more important because of that specific part. You get to do the job. If you bring someone to say, okay, I want them to fix a PC, they will fix a PC. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah, you are so right about guidance, about information, like how things are done now. So if people don't want to know something, it's because if people say they don't know something, it's because they don't want to know, because right now
Yes.
information is everywhere. Guys, please don't forget to like and share this video and leave any questions you might have for Kenneth. Uh, you know what, Kenneth, you've done so much. Did you say you have 30 certifications? Is it 30 or you're not sure?
Plus, I don't remember.
Should
I
be
don't remember
around there.
because
But
it's
there's a
over there.
lot.
So there's a lot because like I said, I was doing when I started, I wanted to be a jack of all trades. I wanted to know everything until I started mastering what I wanted. So I did all the help desk. I did all your fixing of PCs, your A plus, your N plus. I did a lot of Cisco certifications. I did a lot of Microsoft certifications. Now I've mostly security. I've done your Palo Alto. I've done your FortiGates. I've done your CISSP. Now your checkpoints. I've done a lot. All
Mhm.
right. Though some of them now I don't need them, so I let them
Mhm.
lapse. For example, the Microsoft ones, I don't need them. But the AWS ones, I keep them. The Cisco ones, I keep them. The FortiGates, I keep them. The security ones, I keep them because this is what I'm actually doing at the moment. So yeah.
Mm. Wow. Interesting. Interesting. Yes, I see here you also have AWS Solutions Architect Associate. You have AWS Cloud Practitioner. I know, guys, this guy is certified. That's one thing. And he's got, as I've mentioned earlier, he's got a BCom degree. We're going to get to that later. If you can start today, let's say I'm listening now, I want to be a network engineer or network and security engineer. I like what Kenneth is talking about. What can you do differently?
So what can I do differently? First, for me, I didn't know what I really wanted to do. All I know is I wanted IT, which made me do all these other things until I got to specialize with what I want. But as I
Mm-hmm.
said, now people have got information, right? If you know you want to do specifically, let's say you want to be into networking. Networking for me, I say Cisco is the mother of all. All right. If you do your
Mm-hmm.
N plus specifically, all right, N plus gives you the concept of what is happening, what is networking. All right. It's how do you build the entire network? You have that understanding. And then
Mm-hmm.
Cisco is like the co-foundation of whatever you are going to do. Once you know Cisco, like now I get to configure things like your Huawei switches. It's the same as Cisco. I get to play with other your HPs. It's the same with Cisco. So once you know Cisco, this is my point of view. Once you understand Cisco, your CCNA, your CCNP, you can build from there. It's actually easier to build from there because it's like the mother of it all in especially in networking. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And also, now you have become in IT management. What made you pursue a bachelor's degree, though you have so many certifications? You actually have a diploma in electrical engineering as well. So you did do your certifications, but you did have a diploma as much as it was in engineering. What made you pursue a degree?
So Uh, a degree, I wanted it to. It for me, it was a nice to have first. At first, I said to
Mhm.
myself, well, because for some reason, people with certifications, people don't really take them seriously, right? So I was like, okay, well, let me just have it, and nice to have on my CV. And the other thing that I thought about is, okay, as much as I have all these certifications, I'm going to get to a point where I am tired. All right. For
Mhm.
someone who's not even 40, I said, well, by the time I reach my 40s and stuff, I'm going to be tired. And
Mhm.
when I get tired, I don't want to be called for example, now because electrical with networking, I can be called at 2 in the morning. I have to jump in and get things to work. All right. So to avoid that, I said, okay, let me have the degree in my pocket, and when I need to use it, then I can actually use it to get maybe into management and stuff. But to say, is it helping me? And sometimes some of the posts, they say they want a degree. So I'm like, okay, degree plus certification, at least that gives me a plus. And actually, I'm even doing my postgrad right now. So for me, it's honestly, it's more of nice to have for me because everything that I've done, it's actually from certifications.
Yeah, you're just planning for the future, basically. You just
Yes.
want to be prepared. Do you think well, let me not say do you think, because I know it did help you, your diploma in electrical engineering, how much did it contribute to your IT career?
Oh, it gave me the funds that I needed to go to school, right? Because the time I was not, when I couldn't find a job in IT, I used that. So that was my kind of, even though I didn't know it the time I did it, it became my backup plan, right? So I got jobs in electrical engineering, so I was doing it, which allowed me to fund my education into IT. So it was kind of a stepping stone for me to do that, and also it made me understand what I love. That's it. For example, like now, I have it. If I need to get back into doing it, yes, it's almost 20 years now. I haven't used it. Do I know how to use it? Yes, I know how to do it. Sometimes I get to be hands-on when I'm at home, so I do know how to use it. I have it. It's one of those.
Okay, yeah, I see. What future trends in IT do you think like they will shape the industry in the next coming months? I can't say yes because in IT things are changing every week. So let's just say coming months. Like which
So
trends do you see?
at the moment, we have a new trend, not new, but AI is now in full force, right? We can like to be ignorant about it, but being ignorant means you're going to be left behind. So it comes back to the issue that why do I have many certifications is because I need to stay relevant, right? I know I used to work for one company. It was a service provider company. But that company today is closed because it used to rely on a lot of people having certifications. So they hired people because they had certifications, but people forgot to renew them. And then for them to get contracts, they needed people to have certifications. So people didn't have certifications, they lost the contracts. That company is closed as we speak. All right. So it's important to constantly be in the game. And because of how I jump companies, it makes it very important for me. All right. So
This one is a job hopper. I can't believe at the other job you resigned within 3 days, like you decided the first 2 days that you want to leave.
so peace of mind is very important. Understanding the environment is very important. All right. One of the things that we're looking at mostly now as we are talking about cloud, AI, and stuff, right? One of the biggest things that I learned about cloud, whenever we learn cloud, is everyone is migrating to the cloud, you need to understand also a rollback plan. If you go to the cloud, how are you going to come out from it? If you don't know how you're going to come out from it, you're going to have a problem. All right. So I take the same analogy and I say, okay, as much as I get into a company, I look at the entire place and I say, okay, if things don't go well, what do I do? All right. It's never my intention to leave, but I have to be able to understand, okay, if things don't go well, I need to look after myself at the end of the day. What do I do? I saw that place and how they treated people, and it didn't sit well with me. And knowing my character, I knew very well that no, even if I stay, they will kick me out. So to avoid being kicked out, I'll kick myself out. That was, yeah.
Kenneth. Guys, please don't forget to like and share this video and leave any questions you might have for Kenneth. So tell me, I just want to talk more about AI, right? How can youngsters take advantage of it? Because I know right now it's frowned upon, especially if you're here in Africa. People think I know something there is up there in America, but you guys as professionals, good to know this thing is here now. How can they take advantage of it and use it or use
So
it to their advantage?
so learning about it, because at the moment we're in the era where if we go back down to history, right, we had companies like Kodak, they refused to evolve, and now we don't have them anymore, right? So it's the same thing that's happening at this particular moment. If people want to be ignorant and not learn and embrace it, you are going to be left on the side, all right? B2IT is in IT, so people are learning automation, people are learning developments. There are AI courses that are being offered. I think AWS was offering some free online courses, all right? Microsoft also does the same. So learning your programming languages like your Python, your scripting and stuff, those are very important because you need to stay ahead of the curve. And there are YouTube channels for many guys who are actually talking about all these things. And following those guys and hearing the message and putting it to use. But the biggest thing that I can say is people need to be hungry. All right. If you're not hungry, you're not going to study. All right. You need to be hungry to study. Do some research. That's the only way to go about it. If you don't want to study and to do research, okay, it's cool, no problem. But you'll be left behind. All right. Yeah.
Hey, there's no other way. And I just feel like in IT, if you're a type of a person that just wants to study once and call it a day, hey, did my degree, got it in the bag, calling it a day. This is not you can't survive in this industry. Hey? You must be
No,
someone who's really.
so even it gets worse to a point whereby, okay, let's say I'm talking about firewalls, right? Let's say I learned FortiGate, right? I learned FortiGate, and the company says, no, we don't have the budget for implementing FortiGates at all. So we're going to use maybe your Cisco firewalls, or we're going to use Palo Alto, all right? Or Palo Alto is the most expensive, so my example doesn't work, right? But let's just say security, the head of security comes and says, guys, let's talk about the most secure firewall. We are going to be using Palo Alto because it's one of the most secure firewalls out there, right? That's what we're going to implement. And you are still left behind with your FortiGate. Palo Alto is a completely different thing, the interface and how it works. You've got your Sophos, all those things. So if you didn't want to learn, what are you going to do? Do they have a place for you? No, they don't. Unless if you upskill yourself, you're going to be without a job because who's going to maintain it? You were maintaining it, you're managing it. So what's going to happen? Then you are out. So upskilling yourself always needs to be always on point.
Do you offer mentorship?
I do have a few people that I mentor. Or they listen, they don't listen. That's entirely not up to me. That's up to them.
You know what? Who Kenneth comes from my era. Like, we are tired. It's like, oh, okay. And then you think or you think you're just going to be lazing around. Oh, see you in 10 years. Like, that's where we are. We don't have time to trust people. Good, oh, no, you must come here. You must.
Yeah, because for example, the people that I've mentored myself, that I mentor, I give them the same program that I do for myself is I want to feel challenged, all right? I want to feel fulfilled. So within a year, I give myself a target of how many certifications I want to do, right? Besides renewing the ones I have, I want to have something new. I want to feel happy. I want to feel that fulfillment that I have this. So I have a program that I have for myself to say, okay, this year I need to fulfill it, even if it's 2 or 3 certifications, I need to fulfill them. And I'm actually blessed to say all the companies that I've worked for have been able to pay for my studies. That's how I managed to accumulate all these things. Because if I was paying it for myself, I don't think that was going to be for example, like if I talk about CISSP, that thing costs you 20,000, just the exam. All right. So if I now putting it, if you fail, that it's gone. All right. Then the time to study and all those things. So that's just one of it. So I've been blessed enough that the companies have been able to, wherever I work, they've been able to pay for that. So I tell my guys, this is the plan. At least study one, have something, all right? Because whatever that thing is, the next time that they want someone, you're actually available.
Okay, guys, Kenneth is a no-nonsense guy. So just cut. It's cut. There's some excuses. Like I always make an example, like about me. I live in a very remote area, like a deep rural KZN right now, on purpose. There's something that I'm trying to achieve. This is why I'm out of the city, but I still do what I do here. It's not perfect, but I'm still doing it. I'm not waiting for the perfect conditions for me to do what we are doing now. Is there any specific reason for you to like remain in Durban? Because you've lived in Durban all your life. Because I know people in IT, they move around a lot, like Cape Town, Gauteng.
So yes, there is. The specific reason is I'm happy in Durban. It's peaceful for me. For me to go to work, it's 10, 15 minutes. I know a lot of people here. And the other thing that I am particular about, and when I involve my spiritual life, is I've learned to say when it's time, it's going to happen. All right. Because I've even learned one thing, the biggest aspect about me is even when I go and work for a specific company, I stopped looking for job hunting. That was in 2015. All right. All the other jobs that have been coming to me, it was through people would contact me on LinkedIn. All right. Like, hey, we have this job. Can we discuss about it? So I would discuss about it. Then we understand each other, say, okay, it's fine. I'm happy with the conditions. Then I can leave. I've done what I needed to do. And I believe also that God put me at a place where whatever I'm going to do at that particular time, I have to do it to my best level. And if it's time for me to leave, I will leave. God is going to make a way for me to leave without me even lifting a finger. So that's for me is I'm happier in Durban. Do I get paid? I'm happy with that. I get paid. All right. And do I get to travel?
That's gonna be the next question. Because like I always tease Durban, but hi Durban, I love you. That the salaries are not salarying in Durban. But for you, I'm sure it's salarying. That's why you're still in Durban. Kenneth, please be honest. Please be honest with us. The only reason you've been able to stay in Durban for this long is because from 2015-ish, you've only been working for international companies. You are just based in Durban, but the companies that you work for, they are international. They are not national companies.
In a way, yes. So most of the systems I maintain and look after are actually not even here in South Africa, all right? They're all over the world, which also gives me the opportunity. I've been blessed to have good managers, and I do travel the world, all right? Whenever certain sites, I have to go there, do a site visits, to go for seminars. I got that much privilege. So yes, I'm in Durban, but yeah, and
Not
so the
really.
other thing is the
Because
thing is Joburg is very busy, so not for me.
I was like, no ways. I was looking at your CV and I go, "Ngeke." There's no, like, I don't think a person can just volunteer to be in Durban for this long with all these skills and experience. There is no way. So you are in Durban, but you are not really in Durban. Let's just put it that way, because you're not really in Durban.
Yeah, because if I'm to be honest, I think COVID kind of played a role in something just pre-COVID, right? I had got a job in Saudi Arabia. I had done all the interviews, everything was done and dusted. It was just for me to relocate, all right? But then COVID came. So it's one of the banks I was supposed to go and work for in Saudi Arabia. Everything was fully paid. So when COVID came, now things got they froze all the posts and things couldn't happen. So it happened for a reason, I guess. So yeah.
Yeah. And to give you context, guys, Kenneth only got his degree in 2022. So even with that job opportunity in Saudi Arabia, it was through his 45 certifications and all the experience and all the dedication. Kenneth, guys, leave questions for Kenneth. And he told you he's a nonsense type of guy. If you want some mentorship or something, finally umuntu straight, umuntu focused, don't waste his time. Say bye to the village.
Okay, cheers.
Kenneth, before you go,
Yes.
just leave us with 1 or 2 words, for the youngsters, because there's a lot happening in the industry. And I do feel like sometimes the young people, they will be sidetracked and focus on the wrong things.
So I live by certain rules and mottos for myself. I know there's a motto that says if you can't beat them, join them, right? For me, I say the opposite. If you can't beat them, leave them, right? That's number one. Because you can't stay in a toxic environment. Leave, right?
Yeah.
Then the second thing that I always say is no matter where you are, even if it can be a toxic environment and you are not able to go out at that particular moment, instead of you complaining all the time to say, okay, this is a very bad environment, this is that, look around to see what you can gain from it. If it means you need to get an extra certification to help you look for a job, then do exactly that. Okay, I'm here, things are not working. Use that anger as fuel, use that discomfort as fuel for you to learn the next thing. And before you know it, your next opportunity opens up. But if you continue complaining, let's say I have A plus and N plus, I continue complaining, I'm not happy. But people are looking for people with AWS. Why don't I do the AWS? Yes, I'm in the environment, A plus, N plus. It's not okay, no problem. Let me do the AWS. Let me continue growing. So no matter where you are, continue growing despite the environment. If you do that, opportunities are going to open up and you are going to grow instead of complaining. I say use your anger for the good things and stop. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Kenneth. Bye.
Yes.
Okay, guys, we've come to the end of this video. Please like and share it with someone that might need it. And also consider subscribing if you like content like this. I also share salaries from different industries, not just the technology industry. And also you can just check out our playlist. Mina, I'll see you on the next one. Bye.